one of the most interesting and weirdest places that I've ever been. So the food looks phenomenal. I'm super excited. Immediately my American brain goes to this thing. Oh, communism. The initial taste I don't love, but then after that it's kind of like nice and sour, and then it gets weird again. Guten Tag, willkommen zu Berlin. We are in Berlin, everybody. And as you can see, starting the vlog off here on the water. This video, I want to show you some different things that you can do here in Berlin that aren't quite the top destinations, the Brandenburg Bridge or whatever. Probably still gonna go to those a little bit later on, but wanted to do some different stuff for you, get some other sites in there that you guys might not know about. All of these places are visible by the metro, so you don't have to make day trips for these necessarily. With that being said, we're paddleboarding here on the Spree River. It's beautiful. It's fun. There's a few different little places to go. The place I found, just a quick place on Google, it actually was this little locker setup. So you pay online and you walk up with your phone, you click a little button on your web browser and it pops open a little locker. You pull it on out, put your stuff in the locker, and you're good to go. They have a little phone number on their emails. If there's a problem, I was missing a paddle, I got one pretty easily. They answered. Super helpful. There's a bunch of people out here on the water because it's a heat wave here in Berlin, and it's like the hottest day of the year. It's like 38 degrees or something, which honestly for me is not too bad. I'm actually enjoying it. You know, for Utah, this is a pretty normal summer day. So a lot of people out on the water enjoying it. It's a fun atmosphere. It's pretty friendly. There's a lot of little boats around. There's a lot of little places you can pull your boat up to and eat lunch and stop in at a beer garden. People having grill parties and stuff on their boats. It's a fun vibe. Got to this one part where I can see the Fernsehturm, the TV tower here in Berlin. Pretty views. It's awesome. But yeah, it's a little hot, so I'm gonna get in the water for a quick moment, I think. Cool off a little bit. It's not quite as clear as the Eibsee, but not bad. Ah, that feels so much better, doesn't it? I feel good, feel ready. Other people are jumping in too. Good for them. Probably looks like a beach well to these guys, but who cares? I'm having a good time. So I'll link to the place that I got this down below. Also the place that was next to it, they had a person there that was also pretty helpful in case you need that. But you guys know me, couldn't go somewhere without trying to paddle it. So super happy I found this, perfect day to do it. It's great, you don't need to go all the way to the Eibsee, but if you come to Germany and you like paddling, get down there, go do it. Coolest paddleboarding experience almost that I've done. We're gonna get on with it and show you guys some other sites that you probably haven't seen in Berlin. Let's go check them out. Alright, so we moved on to a quick spot for dinner just across the Spree River from where we rented the paddle boards. There's a big park here, and so we stopped, got some dinner at the beer garden I pointed out earlier. So I'm super excited. Some traditional German food, bratwurst and sauerkraut. This one is the BurgerBrau brewery, beer garden. Now this spot you might have heard of, but I was super hungry, so I wanted to stop and show you guys. You can get some good food here. See how it goes? The food looks phenomenal. I'm super excited. Let's jump into it. Now it said bio bratwursten. I don't know if that means it's vegetarian, like meat-free. Tastes just like bratwurst should. Good. And the sauerkraut. That sauerkraut's real good, especially with the sauce they got with it. I've also got some mustard over here. That's spicy mustard for sure. And then they've got some mashed potatoes. So this one's super good. It's a little more pricey than the Englischer Garden Chinese Tower one in Munich, but the food is presented brilliantly, and it's less pick what you want. It's more that we have a few menu options, pick what you want from that. But they had a few menu options that looked really good. I just decided on this one because it sounded the best. But when you come, get whatever you think's best. Anyways, we're gonna continue with the spots that you probably haven't heard of, and one's really close to here, so we'll go run on over there real quick. Here at the Soviet War Memorial. Here at Treptower Park, they have a huge Soviet War Memorial from World War II. There's a few of them around the city, which is just kind of a weird part of history to think about, that Russia took control of the land and built memorials about how they won. But at the same time, 40,000 Russians died in the Battle of Berlin here, so it makes sense, right? It's just like the US Memorial that we went to earlier this year in Normandy. Foreign country, big memorial. Fascinating to look at. I did a little bit of research coming up here. It's this huge area, and they've got these two red stones that come up and represent the flag of the Soviet Union, the red flag. And they have two soldiers kneeling there with the iconic PPSH machine gun that the Russians used in that war. There's this huge courtyard area that goes for like 100 meters. There's 16 stone inscriptions with pictures of different war scenes that went on. The focal point of the whole thing is this huge, like 10-meter statue. There's like 14 Soviet officers that died in the Battle of Berlin, and it's one of them holding a German child in one arm. and a sword in the other, standing on top of a broken swastika. Some fascinating symbolism there. And then on the 16 pillars I was telling you about, there are quotes from Joseph Stalin. One of the quotes that I read online was talking about how this was the Soviet Union's great gift to the European civilization and freeing them from fascist thugs. Which is funny because immediately my American brain goes to think, oh, communism. Probably wasn't even real, probably didn't even rescue a baby. But if it was an American monument, I would have been like, oh, of course. What a great hero. Like, just funny. This trip has been really interesting in diagnosing my own biases and trying to figure that out. But at the same time, you gotta respect the Red Army and what they did, fighting for what they believe in. You know, they were attacked similar to how Pearl Harbor was. It is a cool monument though. I was told to come here and I didn't know what to expect. Definitely add this to your list. This is something I did not even know about. It wasn't on my radar, but it's really cool. It's the Soviet War Memorial in Treptower Park. But as you can tell, it's getting to be nice and pretty at sunset, so we're running out of daylight, but we're here in Berlin for a little bit. I'm gonna get some rest, wake up refreshed and ready to go. We're gonna go hit some more spots that you probably didn't know about. Sound good? All right, well, catch you in the morning. All right, I lied to you guys. We're still hanging out tonight. Made it to this place quicker than I thought we would. So it's called the Tempelhofer Feld, Tempelhofer Field. So basically it's this massive area that used to be an airport. It was used for parades, it's been used for soccer games, all kinds of stuff. It was started to be built in the early 1900s, and then I believe it was made into a huge major hub in 1939, and then used for different things. I believe that the Allies used it when it was Western Berlin as like the main entryway into the city. But then in 2010, I think it was, they started building the new Brandenburg Berlin Airport and then made this into a big park. I actually found out about this place thanks to a local, we'll call him. I have an old friend that lives here and is allowing me to stay with him. I'll let you guys meet Derek here.
Hey everyone, hi, bye.
See, super nice guy, super awesome. And he actually showed me this last night and how cool it is. Told me a bit about it, the history, and this is where everyone comes to hang out on a nice summer evening. And so we're here hanging out. There's beautiful sunset views. There's all kinds of people rollerblading, playing frisbee, bikes are roaming around everywhere. There's lights, there's music playing. Super cool environment. I was super thirsty because like I said, it's going through a heat wave today. So I got some rhubarb shorla, basically rhubarb juice, but with sparkling water instead, so like soda-fied. It's kind of weird, really bitter. The initial taste I don't love, but then after that it's kind of like nice and sour, and then it gets weird again. Enough with the rhubarb shorla. It's a good place to come. It's just a huge, massive park. There's like 6 kilometers of base that you can do stuff with. We're walking on the main taxiway right now. Something different that I'd never had learned about, and I didn't think would be as cool as it was if I looked it up on a map. Come check it out, have fun here. Now we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoy, have a good night. Alright, welcome into day 2 in Berlin, guys. Sites that most people aren't going to tell you about in their YouTube videos. So today we made it out to the Teufelsberg. It's probably one of the most interesting and weirdest places that I've ever been to. Fascinating piece of history. It's just unlike anything else. So after World War II, there was a bunch of rubble and they didn't know what to do with it, so they had a few places around the city that they'd go and deposit it. One of them was here, the Teufelsberg, and so they built up this mountain of rubble basically. The Allies took advantage of this new mountain and built a radio tower on top, kind of a surveillance tower. And then later on it was sold to the German government, who used it as like a flight observation area to help with the air traffic. And then it was just kind of abandoned at one point. You can still see all the barbed wire hanging around, and it became this like center of just vandalism and art, like kind of like a hippie area. As recently as like 2016, I think, it sold into private hands. We pay $8 to enter, it's cash only. And they have a little museum inside about the history of kind of the western East Berlin and the US occupied zone, and like how different things progressed. There's a little cafe in there that looks like a little US military tent. Then you get out to the real part of why you're here, all the art. So it's just this abandoned old government building that all it is a big art piece now, and it's crazy, it's overgrown, but yeah, the art's incredible. It's crazy. There's just all kinds of these huge abandoned rooms. There was this one with all these couches in it. Funny to see how the world changes. You know, you think about all the history we viewed on this European trip, and to think it turned into kind of just this big hippie central. It's cool though. The artwork's amazing. You can climb all the way up to the top where the towers were built. Behind me you can see, you can go into the big abandoned domes. Echoes like crazy in here. Super cool. You can hear it. Anyways, fascinating area. Hope you guys enjoyed this. The weirdest place I've ever been, but it's fascinating. I think it's so cool. You can get here just on the metro, and then it's like a 20-30 minute walk. You know, it's a little uphill, but it's not too bad. It's not like a serious hike or anything. So prioritize this. Come out and visit it, especially if you've got a few days here in Berlin. Super easy to get to. Come explore. Feel like you're in a post-apocalyptic world. We're gonna get going to the next one. Alright guys, we're now at the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church. It's right down here near Bikini, Berlin, which is like a big shopping mall. There's like a festivity going on and there's some music playing, so that's kind of what you're hearing in the background, which is actually quite nice. I really am liking the music. But beyond the point, the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church was built in 1895, dedicated to Kaiser Wilhelm, and it was a big place to gather for weddings and services and whatnot. It's like the local parish. And then during World War II, it was bombed, obviously destroyed and fell apart. People thought maybe we should repair it, maybe not. They decided not to, and they left it how it is. And today, it's a memorial, kind of like a museum, but not quite. It's free to enter. It's just this little building. It's only a part of the church that remains standing, which is funny that it's the tallest part, the steeple. Bombed out at the top, you can see that it's like partially there. The stained glass windows are busted out. So it's this fascinating little kind of reminder of the war, right in the middle of what is now just this bustling downtown area. They have a new church that's right next to it that's really modern looking. And again, kind of a cool little spot that I had never heard of. So if you come check the spot out as well. Cool little piece of history, and you know, you get to kind of see firsthand what bomb remnants look like. Anyways, we got some good food coming up as well. One of the coolest spots to eat in Berlin that I hear, but it's only available one time a week. Luckily, that's tonight. Alright, from one noisy spot to the next, we are in Markthalle 9, or Market Hall 9. Every Thursday it turns into this big street food market where you can get all kinds of different stuff. So Berlin, you can get the typical German food like you saw yesterday in the beer garden, but Berlin is also known for having some of the best and most authentic international food. There's all manner of street food. Dude, there was everything. There was like fresh made pasta, there was pizza, there was this wine cellar, there's beer counters. Of course, because you're in Germany, there's all kinds of food that you could imagine. I even stopped and got a little juice shot. So I got the Gold Smash. Got a bunch of spicy stuff like ginger and turmeric in it, carrots. So let's try it out. Ginger just is amazing. Clears me like right up. I instantly feel like better the second I consume any ginger. Wow, super good. So I ended up deciding on getting something Colombian. Of course, got family there, Schman and Kayla. This one's for you guys. So got a Colombian arepa. I was super excited to see that they had them there. They had one with guacamole on top, so that's what I went with. Excited. As soon as I saw it, I instantly knew what I was getting. This older lady just rolling out the dough by hand, making stuff super fresh. So I got the vegetariana, which has a homemade like salsa and then guacamole on top. This is like the first time I've had avocado in like months. Dude, I love avocado. It's amazing. You got all kinds of good stuff here. Super excited. Come and try whatever you want. Fresh meatballs. There's a few different ice cream shops. It all looks super good. I want to try a bunch of different stuff, but this is all I'll show you here. So these are the other things that I wanted to show you guys all about, the other parts of Berlin that I haven't seen anywhere else. As you can see, there's still a bit left in the video. We're going to uncover some of the more traditional spots so you guys can get my take on them. Real quick, we're going to time warp you guys to the future here. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome through that time warp. Just moved through space and time in the matter of a second for you guys. As you can see, it is the next day. I have changed shirts for once. If you've been here before, you could probably guess where I am, since I told you we're going to be going to some of the more visited sites that you've probably heard of, because I myself am a tourist still and want to see the cool sites. So this site has a bit of a morbid name, but it's a big part of the history. This museum is the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe. It's a 19,000 square meter plot of land with 2,711 of these concrete pillars that you can see. The ground slopes up and down, and they're all different heights. When you're up there, you can kind of see over them all, and they look like a little bit of a wave moving. And then there's some that get to be super tall. And it's built this way, they said, to kind of add some uncertainty to it. You never know who could be around a corner or what's there. So it creates a little bit of uneasiness, I guess, so to speak. You feel like you can get lost super easily, even though it's super organized. There is a museum downstairs as well. There was a long line for it that you could use to get there. So I didn't really want to wait in line because this was the part I wanted to see. There's a ton of people running around playing hide and go seek. It's a fascinating place to visit for sure. It's fun to explore. I mean, it's like photographer's paradise, right? So there's people taking pictures everywhere. It's really close to a lot of different sites, so we stopped in at Checkpoint Charlie just along the way just to kind of see it. There's a gift shop and museum there. There's people taking their selfies in front of it. So make sure you add this onto your list. On to the next one. Alright guys, welcome into the last stop of the day. We got the Berlin Cathedral here, as well as the Fernsehen Tor, which is behind it, but you can't quite see it from this angle. The cathedral is an iconic Berlin spot. Good photo spot to come in. It's got a big grass area in front called the Lustgarten. I don't know if that translates properly. And so when you type in Berlin into Google, you'll get this and the Brandenburg Bridge. It'll pop up immediately. Beautiful pictures. People are here hanging out on the grass, and it's nice, beautiful, especially on a nice summer day. So everything seems to be in construction right now as well. It seems like Berlin's kind of redoing themselves, revamping everything, making a big push to make everything pretty. In conclusion, I would like to dedicate this video to the only people that it could possibly be dedicated to, the Hardman family. Thank you guys so much. Scott and Elaine, my host family, Derek and Elaine as well. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for being involved and part of the video and your generous donations to the channel. I appreciate it all. You guys are awesome. Huge part of my life growing up, really influenced the person and man that I became. So thank you so much for all of your support. And if anyone else would like to continue to support the channel, I have Amazon links in the description below. So if you want to check out any of the gear I use and buy something from Amazon, a little bit of that does go back to me. And if you're not subscribed, just click the little subscribe button down there. That helps the channel more than you know. It goes a long way. Big help to me. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you guys enjoyed any of this video today, I would super appreciate it if you just click that down there. Thanks for hanging out with me. And Berlin is a beautiful city that's constant re-evolving itself, changing itself to become its newest and best form. The same thing can be with you. If you have a vision of what you think you want to be in the future, work towards it, evolve towards it, because your life is yours. The world you want to see is out there. You just have to go and create it. So get out there and go create the world.